Hello everyone and welcome to the Attic Gaming Club episode 9. Today with me we have Sam.
Yeah!
And Tom.
Hello.
And no Dave!
The second week running.
I could get used to this.
So could I.
Not
Means we get to order Chinese and not kebab.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have to put up with the countdown theme tune every 5 seconds.
Bong.
Shouldn't have said anything. Cool. Well, welcome guys. So, let's crack on straight to what everyone's been up to since we last played. Obviously, it's been a couple of weeks for Sam.
Me, yeah.
So, why don't you start us off?
Okie doke. Well, I haven't really done a lot of model gaming related stuff. I went to the Grand Prix in London for Magic the Gathering, which was 2 weekends ago now, I think. I did really terribly, but I had a great time. So, it was a good stuff.
Did you make it to the second day?
No, of course I didn't. I know one of the guys who top 8'd though, so, and he's such a good player though. So.
Basking in reflected glory.
No, he's just a great player. He would kick my ass with his deck. His deck was amazing. So, yeah. But he's the only person I know who even made the second day. So I don't really know him very well. I know him for association. So.
Okay.
Cool.
So it was a pretty competitive event all round.
Yeah, there was like 1,980 odd people there or something. It was really hard to...
Imagine getting that numbers for a Warhammer tournament. How awesome would that be?
You'd have to have, you'd have to do it in like Wembley Stadium or something.
Yeah.
There would be nowhere else you could get.
Yeah, because you need the extra space,
That would be
don't you?
1,000 tables.
Yeah.
1,000 tables.
Because this was in just one hall of the EdXL, which I thought was amazing. They knew they were going to get about that kind of number, and they still only hired like one hall, but everyone fit in, including like tradesmen at the sides, and they like once people started dropping, because essentially a lot of people would drop if you have like 3 losses, you're not going to make the second day.
I think Dan said that's what he did. He lost 3 games, but not in a row. But he said he just cut because he knew he wasn't going to win like his next 5 consecutive games or something.
Like essentially, you've got 2 options. You like if you care about the pro point system, which like if you're good or whatever, or you get a lot of pro points and stuff like this, you can get free stuff essentially. Like you might get travel awards or buys at other tournaments and stuff. You can just grind, so you just play all your games anyway just to get the points, because even if you don't win, I think you still get some points or whatever.
That makes sense.
But like for most regular people that are not really that worried, like I'm not going to become a pro Magic player, so I just dropped once I'd lost 3, and then I was like, yeah, sort of. I think I lost 4 actually. I thought I'd play 1 more because I was waiting to go and do something afterwards. So.
Okay.
But they got side events, and so like if I'd have lost a little earlier than I did, I'd have probably dropped and played the side event. But I didn't, and so it was like I've got about an hour left before I'm going to go and meet my other friends and go drinking. So.
How long does a game of Magic take roughly?
Well, they give you 50 minutes for a round.
50.
Yeah, 50 minutes
Okay.
for a round, and that's
That
best of 3 games.
Right.
So obviously first to 2.
Yeah. So a game could take 15 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, like if it comes to time, you then get 5 turns, and if nobody's won within those 5 turns, that last game will be a draw. So it'll go on. So if someone's won 1 and then it's a draw, the person who won 1 will win the match overall.
Okay.
So, but if it's 1-1 and a draw, then, or if it's still the first one, for some reason your game just took crazy long, then it'll just be a draw. So.
Okay.
I think you'd deck out by that point, wouldn't you?
And for 50 minutes, yeah. Well, because of like it was a limited format, so you make your deck on the day. You can have any more cards than you want, but 40 is the minimum. Most people stick at 40, whereas in constructed events it's 60 cards.
Okay.
So decking out would probably be a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So.
Nice, but good event.
Yeah, it was really well run. Like I enjoyed it. It's kind of a bit expensive, but I mean, I was expecting it to be, so it wasn't a problem really.
I guess you play to the hope that you're going to make it through to the second day, at which point it's no longer expensive because of all the other stuff you get, isn't it? Like extra packs and potential cash.
Yeah. I think the second day, maybe only like 120 people made it, and then like, well, maybe 200 people, I think it was, something like that, made it to the second day, and then if you're in the top third of that, you start winning cash.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Pretty cool event. I was there on the Friday and the Saturday. I went the day before it started to like register, and I played in a like a pre-registry tournament as well to see if I could win some buys, but I didn't. I did quite well in the day before. Did abysmally on the day. Always the way. But yeah, no, really enjoyed myself, and haven't really done anything else related to games recently. In fact, how long ago was that? That was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
It was 2 weeks last time we were.
Must have done something else related to games. I don't do other stuff.
All your models are here.
Oh, I haven't been. I painted 3 more, but I don't know whether that was before last I came or not. So I can't really remember.
How many have you got in total now?
I think I've painted 9 altogether. So
getting there slowly but surely.
yeah. Well, they take kind of a reasonably large amount of time, but I just do them bit by bit when I get the time. But yeah.
Fair enough.
I seem to recall being very busy over the last few weeks, but I can't remember why. Yeah, anyway. So,
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, there was that. That was why I wasn't here last week.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Nice.
But I did have an awesome Korean meal, so...
Oh, excellent. That's
completely off subject, sorry.
Excellent. I'll ask you where you went later on.
Okay.
So, T-Dog. Do you like that name? I just made that up for you. No?
I'm going to wait until you address you by my name.
T-Money?
T-Bag?
T-Bag? T-Dizzle on me? It's going to be a long time, so I've got loads of these names.
I can wait.
Mr. T-Bizzle. Mahoney. I'm running low on names.
Keep it coming, I've got all night.
T and the money. Earl Grey, because tea. See.
Yeah, I like it.
I see what you did there.
Green tea. That could be a rapper name.
It'd be a terrible rapper name.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop this because otherwise I'm just going to have to cut it all out. Come on then, Tom. What did you do with your
I have
time?
been doing quite a bit of fantasy. I've played a handful of practice games, including one against the New Warriors, where I got utterly ruffle-stomped. And I've had to change up my list quite drastically to factor that in. So it's not all bad. I have restarted, or I've been posting a bit on my blog, which Adam will give you a link to, but it's tmarichards.blogspot.co.uk for people who are listening. I plug it on my Twitter feed quite a bit, at tmarichards. So, fair bit of that. I have a tournament coming up tomorrow, just a small one-day event in Borehamwood, 3 games, 30 players, quite small, quite low-key. It'll be a good chance to roll out the list I'm planning on taking to a tournament in April. So looking forward to that. So I've been doing a lot of list writing and a lot of list theorying for that, and finally came up with something I like. A little bit different, a little bit experimental. And other than that, I have done nothing.
Nice. Excellent. Fair play, fair play. Well, I haven't done much miniature games. I played another Escher Juve. If anybody cares, you can see her there. It's pretty uninspiring, purple, you know. But I have played a lot of board games. So last weekend I went to a...
Speaking of board games, I was in Dark Sphere earlier today and I saw that Descent 2 has come out. And I imagine this has been out for a little while.
The board game?
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't played it.
No, I just saw it and thought that'd be something I might be quite interested in getting, because I was very interested in the first edition, but never actually got it because I knew the second edition was coming out. And having seen the game today, it sort of rekindled my interest.
Cool, do it, bring it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so I went to last weekend, went to a friend, and we were playing through a lot of the games that came out in last year's Essen board game convention.
Okay.
Spiel, I should say, is the name of the convention in Essen. But yeah, so we played... I'm just going to read these names out.
Go for it.
Aztlan, which was kind of like a Mayan, Aztec kind of conquest game. Each player had like a colour, and you could try and take regions by playing pawns on the board. You also had a hand of cards on which was written a number, and that was the power for this turn, and each card can only be used once. Mm-hmm. So you would have 9 to 4, for example. So if you played a power of 6, each one of your guys had a power of 6. So if you had 2 guys in a region, your total power in that region would be 12.
Mm-hmm.
Now your opponent obviously is playing pawns at the same time as you, and also has a secret card, so it's laid down at the beginning of the turn. So you have to try and guess based on what he's already used, what he's got in his hand, what regions he's trying to take with what powers, you know, and try and obviously overpower him or just ignore him and go for other regions. And the idea is that you, every time that it's done in 5 rounds, I think it is. Obviously, you can only use each card once. You've got a diminishing number of pawns that can be played. In the first round, you get 7 or 8, then 6, then 5, then 4, then 3. And you can move them around as well as place new ones. So you can move the ones that you put down in previous turns. And generally, the idea, as I say, to at the end of the round, you work out who's got dominance in each region, remove any ones that get beaten in fights, and then you work out points based on how big the region is, what things it controls within it, and stuff like that. And it's just first player to get as many points as possible.
Okay.
It's good fun. It's kind of simple, really easy to learn, but kind of tactical. And yeah, generally fun. So that was quite a good one.
Seems good.
We also played a game called The Cave, which is an exploration game. So it's yeah, it's like one of those sort of hidden tile games. So as you move around the cave, you flip over tiles from a stack and add them, you know, onto the side of where you are, kind of, and you know, explore in the cave. And you have to like inventory manage. You have to take food and provisions and scuba tanks and boats or ropes and stuff like that.
Just boat. Just carry a boat on your head.
You know, and you have to go deeper into the cave. But obviously, you have to manage it so that you've got, because every turn you eat a piece of food or a provision, and if you run out. Then
monsters and stuff? Or
there's no monsters. There's just things to overcome. So, like, if a cave goes down
like
a level,
actual cave.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have rope to be able to go down. If you come to a submerged bit, you have to have a scuba tank or a boat to be able to cross it. And it's all about exploration, taking photos, and gaining points that way, and then going back to camp, restocking, and going out again. But it's quite fun. It's good. So, as I say, kind of competitive in the sense that you have to get more than your opponent, but not aggressive competitive, because there's nothing you can do to scupper your opponent other than wait for them to explore someone and go back and then run in and steal all the glory sort of thing. But that was good fun. Then we played The Wilderness, or no, just Wilderness, I believe it's called, and it's another kind of random exploration game, but you basically, I think the synopsis was like, your character has been beaten, mugged, stripped of all clothing and dumped in the middle of nowhere. You now have to survive and get out to find help, and essentially you just have to cross the board, but each panel, they're kind of triangular panels that you flip over, and they'll have a different section of, you know, like mountains or plains or swamps and stuff like that, and you have to survive. So, you know, you have to sleep at night and forage in the day and look for water whilst progressing towards the end of the board where there's a village that will be your saviour. But everyone else is trying to do the same thing, and you get these special cards that come out where you can either use them to boost yourself, so, you know, regain your health or, you know, water or stuff, or play against your opponent where you can set wolves on them or, you know, a bear or something like this, or give them diseases and stuff like that. That's quite fun. It's kind of a mad dash game, you know, trying to get to the end and, setting bears on your opponent. So that was good fun. I like that one. Then we had Sneaks and Snitches, really quick, like robbery game. It's all about, you know, placing characters to rob different locations whilst defending the locations against other players. Okay. And it's just quick and easy rob-end game. It was good fun. Then the final one was Asgard, which was like a mythology-based game. It was all about like praying to gods and like resource management and stuff. I'll be honest, I didn't like that one.
Okay.
It was way too much resources, way too many things. You had to, you know, give them followers and obtain crystals to build temples that would then enable you to enter battle with warriors that then would pray to that god, and it was just like, it was way too complex. Okay. It took us an hour and a half to set up and read through the rules, and then probably an hour to play. And I'm sorry, any game that has more rules than playtime is too much. It's too much detail for me. So some people might like it if you like really complex games where you have to keep track of a lot of stuff and, you know, kind of plan well ahead of both what you and your opponent are doing. Then give it a look. You might like it. I mean, Board Game Geek rating wasn't bad, I think. Yeah. So, you know, obviously some people like it, I just don't think it was for me.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah, so we played all that. So it's good. Good fun. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. So, with that, I think it's time to move on to Tenews.
Okie dokie.
So, news
God.
time.
Here it comes.
I think we all know what we're going to be talking about.
Here it comes.
So,
Demons of Chaos.
yeah.
The photos, it's the new White Dwarf is coming out very shortly, but the pictures were leaked in a few places on the internet. I think by now, most people have found them. They're very easy to find. Just Google new Demons of Chaos, as Adam did literally 5 minutes ago. Maybe 7 minutes ago. So, should we run down each of the models and talk a little bit about them?
Why not? Let's do that. I believe this particular site that I'm on has ordered them by God.
Okay.
So I guess we'll start with Khorne.
Yep.
So, New Herald.
Yep. I think that's quite a cool model.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Agreed?
Maybe a little bit banana skin slippy.
It's
But
quite
probably-
dynamic,
but,
though.
But cool, I
it's-
like it. Is it standing on a pile of skulls by any chance?
Probably is, yeah.
It's kind of hard to say from this picture, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say
Okay.
yes,
So
100% it is.
If I was to get one, I'd probably green stuff over that a little bit, but overall, I think that's quite a cool model.
Yeah, it's a bloodletter with a sword.
It's like, you know, the pose is what you expect from bloodletters. They're rushing at you to, you know, eat your face off and stab you with their swords and drink your blood and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not bad. I've
gets
no
the job
objections.
done, you know.
Next up, we've got the Blood Throne of Khorne. Shit names aside, what do we think of this one?
I don't have anything particularly good to say about it.
I don't really understand what it is.
I imagine it's going to be some sort of buffing wagon. It might also function as a chariot.
Are they, like,
I think-
pulling it along?
I looked at that and I thought, how does it move? Because unless they jump off and pull, there's no way for it to move. But then reading through the new White Dwarf, it says in the fluff that there's meant to be a sort of demon infused into it who propels it along by turning the wheels and what have you.
Okay.
Which I suppose is as good as explanation as any other, but it just seems like a little bit of a cop-out. So we don't need to try and put something on here because magic does it. And I understand it's a fantasy game and you know, they want to try and work on other parts of
I mean,
the model.
it seems
but-
kind of similar to what the theory behind how Chaos Dwarves do stuff.
It's
Kind of similar, but again, like, a bit
But it's not something I particularly like. The other issues I have with it is that it's got the clearance of a mobility scooter.
Yeah, it does.
So how is that going to function on an open battlefield with anything?
It's on like a circular
Big.
base on that particular
Yeah,
picture.
that'll be a 40k one. It's a dual 40k and fantasy.
Oh, so they're
All
going
of
to
them
be
are gonna be.
used. Oh, okay, that's a bit.
They always are now. All the new models are dual.
Yeah, well, I know, like, obviously, but I just can't understand how that would function as something in either or. Like, is that supposed to be particularly a 40k model, or is it supposed to be a fancy model? Obviously, is it both?
It's supposed to be both. It's supposed to be generic enough that you could use it in either game.
I'd say it's more 40k than fantasy. The idea of having sort of self-propelled stuff, I think, fits better into the 40k universe. But that's just my thinking. Overall, though, it's fine, I suppose. I don't really have anything particularly good or bad to say about it.
I don't really think
It's
it
a
makes
model.
an awful lot of sense.
I think it looks like a mess.
Yeah, it doesn't really, like, what's it doing? Why is it doing it?
Why the hell are there bloodletters standing at the front?
What?
If it's
yeah.
supposed to be a chariot, obviously it doesn't say. If it's a blood chariot of Khorne, then that argument might hold more weight, because it could just, as you say, be like a war shrine-y kind of buffing wagon. But if it's supposed to be a chariot, and it does have scythed wheels, so I'm going to say that maybe it's a chariot, that's a stupid chariot, because the guys are going to get speared as soon as they go into any kind of unit.
And, like, the throne thing at the back looks pretty diabolical as well. It looks like some kind of, I don't know, something out of the 80s. It's like something out of Flash Gordon, which Flash Gordon is awesome, but, you know...
Flesh Gordon.
Yeah, Flesh Gordon.
Yeah, I agree. It's just pretty...
Right.
It's pretty naff.
And just to be clear, Flash Gordon is awesome.
Flash
Yeah,
Gordon's
I agree.
awesome.
Unanimously. Okay, and then the final corny thing is the Skull Cannon of Khorne. I'm going to shoot
Like,
skulls at you from my skull cannon at your skull.
Woo! In my mind, like, the top one's 40k and that one's, like, fantasy, mate. And obviously the basing has been done like that, but that kind of seems to be what they're going for.
That, I think, is a dual kit.
Yeah,
So
that's what
It
I
looks
a
like
dual
it
kit.
is.
See,
And again, I can't imagine, like, the comment I've made about this is that bloodletters operating machinery, that my entire, like, imagery of bloodletters is that they're not really operating machinery, they're out for your blood, they're not even necessarily thinking, they're just, like, running at you in their units to stab you a lot. And now they're standing on cannons.
Agreed. Chaos was never supposed to have missile weapons. That was the whole point of Chaos. There was the one army that didn't have missile weapons.
Well, a lot of the old sort of 5th edition stuff does have various war engines of Khorne with ranged elements to them.
Yeah,
but my impression from them is that there's still things which run forwards and chop you up with big claws and stamp on you with big
Isn't
feet.
that like Warriors of Chaos more than Demons, though?
But
Demons
it might be,
should
but
more
specifically
be like...
to do with Khorne. My sort of major misgiving with it is that of all the gods to give a ranged weapon to, Khorne seems one that was least likely. But apparently there are precedents in previous fluff for this.
You're right. There are, but I still don't think that it matches the current sort of fluff of what I imagine Khorne to be. You know, and that's without ranged weaponry.
I'm inclined to agree.
Even if they wanted to give them ranged weaponry, I still just disagree with bloodletters standing on top of a cannon.
There's also a problem, I think, with it, which is that is this the way that every fantasy army's going to go? They're going to find a way to
incorporate every element.
To shoehorn something in.
That would be a depressing way. And, you know, and we're skipping over the major thing, which is it looks shit.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good.
It's crap. It's got.
I don't like it.
I think the thing at the front's like
it's like a Tyrannid head. It's like a bulbous Tyrannid head.
What
at the front,
is it?
With a hat on.
Seriously.
And then you've got this crappy old cannon that looks like a ball sack. It's not good. It's not good.
The bloodletters on the back, the one we can see is sort of, here is my sword. Look at my sword.
My sword!
Drive me closer.
There you go. But yeah, so I think
it's probably going to be like a flame template cannon or something stupid like that.
No, it's going to shoot skulls. It's going to shoot a stream of skulls.
It's called a skull cannon.
Actually says something along the lines of it consumes people and shoots their skulls.
That's ridiculous.
Or something words to that extent.
Garbage.
Well, so the guy at the front eats people and then like poos out skulls.
I think it runs over people and eats them.
It's like
I don't know.
A skull turder, not a skull cannon.
Ridiculous. Alright.
Skull pooper.
Next up we have Nurgle. So, Herald?
I'm on the fence about this, actually. I looked at it and I couldn't make up my mind as to whether I like it or not. It doesn't stand out to me either way, but
it's pretty average.
I think it's growing on me. I actually kind of like it.
He's alright.
I think it's, it's not bad, but I don't think it's particularly exceptional either.
No, it's nothing. It
looks like a slightly better Plague Bearer champion.
Yeah.
Really.
To be honest,
he's alright.
If I was going to do a Nurgle demon, if I wanted a Herald of Nurgle, I'd get the Festus model because I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good model.
So that's not something I'd go for.
No.
Oh God, my eyes, they burn.
The plague drones of Nurgle.
They just look stupid.
Yeah, they look stupid.
Just ridiculous.
Flying elephants with plague bearers just kind of
flying genital warts
balanced on them.
Yeah, they're not even like riding them properly. They're just kind of precariously on top of a flying turd.
It's dumb and they look shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Slaanesh. Herald
at school.
Yeah, alright with that.
I don't really like it,
no.
But I can understand why you would like it.
I don't think it's the greatest model they've ever done, but I think it's alright.
It's just like a ballet dancing weirdness.
I don't think that any of the new Slaanesh stuff is as good as the old metal stuff. The one that actually looked feminine and alluring and kind of like dainty and petite. That they actually looked like they were fast and deadly.
Claws, hands, or giant like crab claws.
No, not that far back.
Not that far back.
The previous generation. So the ones that had like kind of like attractive looking women with kind of plain demon heads and thin scythes kind of thing.
I can't say I remember.
Yeah, but I thought they were the best demonettes that they've ever done. But hang on a minute, I'm just trying to find a picture of them. Okay, so I put Slaanesh demonettes.
Slaanesh diabetes.
Did you mean Slaanesh diabetes? I did actually spell that horrifically wrong. What the hell's wrong with me?
Slaanesh a double A as well.
Yeah, it is.
Slaanesh.
Let's see if that works. Okay, so
I like those.
these
I like
ones.
those Order Seekers. They're quite cool.
Yeah, they're the kind of the plain-faced ones. Kind of got thick, tentacly kind of hairs. You know, womany kind of boobs and legs, and you know, kind of clawed feet. The older ones.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought they were better.
Okay.
But he's not bad. He's all right.
She.
Well, technically, with Slanesh, it could be.
Who knows? Yeah.
You think she's all hot and everything, and then she pulls out a slong.
Well,
She's like, "It's pickle time, baby. Bend over."
Adam, I'm still eating. Thank you.
Burning Chariot of Tzinch.
I don't know what that is.
I think that the motion in that doesn't really make sense to me. The screamers make it look like it's racing forwards, and yet the flame is also sort of billowing out forwards as well instead of being whipped back behind it. I also don't like the fact that it looks like he's eaten a fir tree and is now vomiting it out.
Yeah. I think flamers look good. Disc looks good. Perhaps you could get away with just the flame underneath it. I think that would look alright. I think the oversized horror looks crap and the bath looks crap.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it.
I'd
But
just
to
seen
be
it
to
odd.
the next chariot down, I think actually looks cool.
Which is the Tzinch Herald on Chariot.
I think that one looks fine.
Because it pretty much
Not
is
model.
what I like about the other Chariot. It's the discs plus the disc that they're standing on,
Yeah.
plus just some horrors.
Still doesn't really do much for me, that one. I think both of them.
Maybe a little bit busy.
Maybe
but
it's
I
just the
quite like
paint
it.
job that makes them look busier than it actually is, because they've, Tzinch is wacky colours everywhere instead of
It could well be.
a unified scheme.
Yeah, I think it's alright.
I mean, that's one of the other things, like these paint jobs, which I am assuming they're like the GW paint jobs.
Yeah.
They're pretty awful, I think.
I think the pictures obviously don't do them justice either, because they're very small internet compressed pictures. So
Well, that
perhaps
doesn't
we should-
help,
certainly
but
true.
I just think that the schemes are not particularly inspired.
Yeah.
Although their kind of fluff limits what schemes they can really do.
That's true.
Yeah, and they want to keep them in line with the rest of the models they've released for that army.
Exactly. But still, I don't really
So,
find the schemes that appealing.
overall thoughts on the Demons of Chaos release? I think that it is uninspired.
Yeah.
I would say weak. It's a weak release in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
It
pretty
has a
awful.
couple of average models, but generally poor.
Like, nothing that makes me feel like, yeah, I want to collect me a Demon's army.
Yeah,
You know?
correct. You know, the Warrior
Which is
list.
the point of their releases these days, really.
Yeah.
That's what
Warriors,
they do.
yeah.
They release
Warriors
models.
had some cool
so-
models, like the
Yeah.
Dragon Ogres were
Yeah.
ace. The some of their character models were pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Skull Crushers were pretty cool as well. I actually quite like those, even
Yeah.
though they're not that new.
It made me look at the models and think, I don't collect Warriors, but I want these models. How can I either fit them into an army, or can I justify collecting a new army?
Yeah.
And the Demons makes me think, Bath, I don't want to collect this army because the models are so poor, and I don't want them anywhere near my gaming room.
It's like the opposite of their current kind of marketing strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So, I think, for me it definitely gets a...
yeah.
Unfortunately, so.
Not even considering it.
There we go. Well, that's the new Demons of Chaos. If you're interested, just as Tom said earlier, just check out, stick it into Google, new Demons of Chaos models, or something like that, and you'll come across loads of sites that have it. Or alternatively, the new White Dwarf comes out next weekend, I think it is.
Something like that.
Like, not when you hear this podcast, it'll probably be the weekend, but the following weekend, 29th or whatever. You full there, Tom?
No, not quite. I'm just taking a breath.
Maybe
I've,
two Chinese meals?
No,
almost.
only my own and then half of Sam's.
Well, there you go.
I'm a growing boy. I need more food.
Cool, so that was the Demons. Right, other news. Anyone got anything else?
Yeah, PlayStation 4 announced.
Yeah, not entirely board gaming or miniature gaming related, but
I haven't followed the release at all, though.
I could go on for hours about this. I won't. Suffice to say, I think it looks pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Games
I'm
are
interested.
obviously thin on the ground at the moment, being that we're such a long way away from release, but just generally the announcements regarding the functionality of the system.
Yeah, I think it looks very, very good, very inspiring.
Will it take mods for Sky or DLC for Skyrim?
I don't think they care, quite frankly.
Because they've made enough money from it off PC even.
As in, Bethesda obviously don't care enough to make mods that work on the PS3, and Sony obviously.
You mean like the expansions, or you mean
the expansions?
But they are bringing some of them out.
If they are, we're talking about like 6 months behind the initial release date.
Yeah, but the PlayStation was always like that. It was always Xbox first, and then the PlayStation.
Yeah, but that annoys me. But I paid the same amount of money for my copy of the game as other people did, regardless of the platform. I expect to get the same treatment.
There's no technical reason why that's the case. That's entirely down to the developers. So, direct your anger at Bethesda, not at Sony for that.
Fair enough.
You know, I mean, you could argue the technical reason is that there's a different architecture in the PlayStation 3 and developing games for it slightly different. But we're going well off topic here.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not.
Oh, my Skyrim DLC.
Yep, buy it on PC. I've got more DLCs than I know what to do with, and it's all free. Yeah. But yeah, PlayStation 4 looks good.
Yeah.
Go and check it out if you haven't already seen it. New Kickstarter. Well, I say it's new. It's not new at all because it will have ended by the time you guys hear this podcast. But one that Dave and I went in on is it's a set of Kolinsky Sable brushes by Games and Gears. So they're releasing a set of 5 brushes, but because of the Kickstart stretch goals, you get 7 with it now. But they're double-ended brushes as well. So each end has a different size of brush. So in total, I think 2 of the brushes are just single-ended, but you're getting 10 equivalent brushes. Plus the 2 other extra ones, 12 brushes, and I think currently it's like 25 quid for a set, which I think is pretty impressive.
That is pretty exceptional value, especially if these are going to be good quality brushes, which I hear they are.
Kolinsky Sable is pretty much the best you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they normally set you back sort of £10 a brush. So the fact that you could get 7 double-sided ones, or potentially 5 plus 2. Double-sided for 25 quid is pretty impressive. And that's free delivery. It also includes a brush cloth and a brush soap as well. So I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so unfortunately this news is going to be hitting you guys a bit too late. But I mean, you can check out their website when it comes out. I'm sure that they'll still be good value when they actually release them for general consumption. Games and Gears, if you wanted to check it out. What else have we got? Oh, there was an update on the Relic Knights Kickstarter, which I saw. Oh my god, that game looks so good. They've just released random like art pictures and rulebook updates and stuff like that. But I'm really psyched for that game. I think I'm going to get into that in a big way.
Is that one you've already got? I can see about a dozen models up there for.
Yeah, but they're all kind of... There's no rules for them yet.
Yeah, they're just cool little toys.
Yeah, at the moment. So that's what I'm waiting for. Basically, the rulebook to come out and the new sets of models that actually make armies, because at the moment it's all sort of disjointed characters and one-off models, but when the rules hit they'll have full armies and, you know, units and sets and stuff. But it looks seriously hot shit. So
I
yeah,
haven't seen anything for that, so I'll have to have a look.
I'm willing for that. Yeah, that's all news that I've got.
I've got nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have anything.
That's fine. No worries. Awesome. Well, that's us. News and what we've been up to. So, today's gaming. What's going on?
Well, it looks like we're all set up to play Necromunda. What are we going to do?
I may sit out of this one and let you guys
you're not
do
feeling the gaming.
No, it's fine. I just, you know, we play a lot of multiplayer games, so it might be good to just have a one-on-one.
I was going to say that, so...
And I played 2 last week, so...
I was going to say that, so you play.
But you're the guest.
Don't worry.
You're the guest, and all my models are downstairs.
Play with mine.
And plus I want to do some dungeon explore preparation.
Since you started yesterday. I've got a bug into you, have I?
Well, just because I figured you started it, so I might as well push through and glue them together and stuff. But okay, so hypothetically, assuming that 2 people in this room are going to play Necromunda,
yeah,
maybe Tom on both sides of the table, what are you going to play?
What, scenario-wise? Let's give it a roll.
I'm going to roll for it. Alright, let's bust out Ted Book.
Chances are I've got a higher gang rating than either of you two. Probably not when both of you combined, but certainly than either of you. Alright, 5, which I think is lowest gang rating choosers.
No, it's play the gang fight scenario.
Okay. Cool, I can live with that.
So, a bit of gang fighting.
Indeed. Well, I've got my Deluxe, who are still increasing at quite a nice rate, even if some of their skill and stat increases are really annoying. Some of them are really quite good.
Yeah.
So, a bit of a mixed bag.
Nice. And I see you got your scabbies over there.
Well, they're here, yes.
Yeah.
They are here.
Nice. I built slightly off topic, but I got a big tub of Nitromores to start stripping down the rest of those Escher models I got.
Okay.
So I plan to strip them down and at some point sneak a heavy plasma cannon into my gang.
Oh,
I have to start saving now.
yeah.
Forever, because I have 36 credits, so I need about another 208.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous like that, isn't it? Don't you have to like roll it on the chart as well?
No, it's a condom weapon for me.
Oh, really?
But even so, it's just ridiculously expensive.
Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Alright then, well, we'll go away and play this game of Mundra Necra. And some people are going to return and give an update.
One of them's going to be me.
One of them's going to be Tom. The other one's going to be Sam. So anyway, yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, enjoy this song, and yeah, we will check back with you guys in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Attic Gaming Club podcast.
Yeah, the crowd goes wild.
So, I've been a boring sod and just sat here putting together Super Dungeon Explore models
Nothing
for the last
unusual there.
couple of hours, but Tom and Sam had a game of Necromunda, so guys, why don't you let everyone know how that went?
Didn't go so well for me.
Started pretty well for you.
It started well, yeah. What essentially happened was Sam had his guys split up into two little groups. So I set up my own first. I had a group on the left, a group on the right, and like a support group in the middle, which could go either way. And Sam set up, Sam set up a few people opposite my two, So I sent a couple of people to run off there to help them. It was 4 on 4 over there, so equal numbers, and each of mine is just outright better in terms of stats and weaponry and what have you. And I thought, well, I've got better people and I've got them outgunned, so I should win that little fight. And instead, that fight just went catastrophically
I had 5 over there, actually.
You had 5?
Yes, I had 2 ghouls and 3 regular guys, but you still should have shot
that's fine. I've got him horribly outgunned. I've got a really good defensive position. He'll be fine. And instead, Sam just went, "Nope, you can't do any damage to me because I just get up when you shoot me in the face," and just ran over everyone over there. So I was kind of well, I could have done with that working, but it's fine because out on the left, you ran like a little group of people out of cover completely, and I thought,
pretty much.
This will be good. I'll just take down a load of them. And you're using your scabby gang, so you've got really bad leadership. Loads of bodies. But I thought what I'll do is I'll just shoot enough down that you have to start taking loads of leadership tests, and I'll then just fade away and run around corners, and you won't catch me. And then it worked. I shot down loads of people, and you passed your first leadership test, and then all your people got up again.
Yeah. Like, that was a bit later in the battle that they got up, to be fair, but, I mean, I got a little bit lucky with the guy you shot down. Like, everyone could have scattered because I had terrible leadership, but only, like, 1 person ran away out of 4, I think, tests I took, which was obviously statistically kind of not right. And then I spread them all out so it wouldn't happen again, really. And I said you were quite effective to begin with. I was like, oh dear, he's going to shoot the crap out of me after like all my guys started to go down. And the little splinter fight where I just sent a bunch of kind of medium combat guys to occupy your shooters. That kind of was my plan. Like, because I thought if you're just going to shoot across the board at me, because both of your guys had really long range and excellent shooting skills, you're just going to pick off like everyone. So I need to keep them occupied. And I'd rolled up 3 ghouls, which was quite good for me because they're just fodder. And you have to like deal with them because otherwise they'll just get in your face. They pretty much do what they're supposed to do, which is why they're quite effective. I think they're the best of the scavvy extras that you can get because they have to be dealt with. Otherwise, they just munch on your guys.
The toughness 4 is a pain for my mainly strength 3 shooting.
Yeah, it really helps. I mean. But yeah, over here could have been really messy if you got your flamer out, but you was a little bit more cautious with him than I thought you would be. Yeah,
so, I couldn't get him in range without you getting a chance to sort of shoot him in the face first. Yeah. So I thought I'll keep him back and wait for you to come in close, and then it all just went a bit wrong.
A bit Pete Tong.
Yeah. It came down to I thought I'm losing this quite badly, so I need to take a bit of a risk. So I took 2. They're not really risks. I saw quite a cute little charge angle where I could run in like at a right angle, kill the bloke I was going to fight, and then run out of line of sight of everyone else. So he'd run in, punch you in the face, and then get out of dodge. And that was with one of your guys who'd taken a flesh wound. So I ran in with my bloke who's already better against your flesh wounded chap, and just died. In short, that didn't go according to plan. And then the same thing happened more or less with my leader. He ran in ready to beat the ever-loving crap out of some puny little person. And
the first guy he fought, obviously he completely crushed him. That was the ghoul, I think. The second guy he fought was actually like probably my second best combat guy. Right. So he wasn't as outgunned. Like, the thing is, you would probably like to get 1 hit in that situation, and you have a power sword. Yeah. So if that 1 hit had gone through, it was game over.
It's usually hits and wounds and power swords, You
didn't, and I actually got 1 hit on you, which, again, it was with a club against your guy, so there's a pretty good chance of it being game over for you, and then I rolled a 1 on that, so...
I thought
it kind of was karma, probably.
I had 3 attacks to your 2.
He had 3 because he had an extra arm.
3, okay. So I thought I would have won that because we both rolled like a 4-ish as our highest dice, but I fumbled twice, which didn't help.
Yeah. You should have won that by like 1 or 2, probably would have been about right. I think.
A few things like the shooting started out well, lots of hits, lots of wounds, and then it just kind of just stopped doing anything really. And as soon as I start losing 1 or 2 people because they get tied up in combat, the amount of shooting I have just dwindles quite quickly.
Well, that's it, isn't it, really? Your gang needed to shoot me down a lot more before I got there, but I guess if that happened, the battle would have been over before I got there.
Yeah.
I knew things were kind of going okay once I had, like, 50% of my gang within, like, kind of 8 inches of you or whatever, and then I was like, well, now, no matter what you do, I'm still going to get enough people into combat to do something here. Yeah. And my guys are significant, even, like, your combat guys, I think my regular guys are kind of the equal of most of your combat guys when I get the charge.
Yeah.
And your non-combat guys, even when I don't get the charge, because if I've got the extra point of strength with my clubs, and I get 2 attacks on everyone, and so, I mean, yeah. And I've got quite a lot of upgrades on, like, people here and there. I mean, I've got, like, 3 or 4 guys that cause fear, and I've got a couple of, like, weapon skill upgrades, so yeah. Although I always seem to put, like, because if I just number them and I can't really be bothered to, like, keep going round putting the right guys forward, I always seem to put the shooting guys first. Maybe like there's like, now the shooting guys get shot and die, and the combat guys can get in and munch everyone. But yeah, it went quite well from my perspective. I had a feeling I was just going to get shot to pieces, and it didn't happen. So
what I probably should have done is my heavy I stuck in one side. I think if you come through the middle, he can gun you down, instead of putting you up in a tower. Because I find like it's effective for putting a heavy in a tower is a bit. It gets old quickly for everyone involved. So, he's got a heavy stub in a tower again where I can't do anything to it. Brilliant. So that gets old quickly.
I was kind of like wondering why you brought him down. Like
I brought him down because I thought if I stayed up on the level I was, you would just go run underneath the walkway where I wouldn't be able to see you.
True, but you could have shot my other group for like 3 turns before that.
Yeah.
So. But I'm glad that group occupied you. That was their job. You know, their job was occupying you, and it worked. So that was nice. So that means like the other thing, like maybe you could have done is you could have sent your middle splinter group. You could have ignored them and just gone over there.
Yeah, I did.
And then you could have like sliced all of that little group to pieces, and I would have probably bottled just from them dying. So that was another potential thing.
3.
So
yeah, that's fair enough.
But yeah, that's like retrospectively. I didn't actually think about that when I did it. Like so,
I thought I'd be able to deal with that group fairly quickly with my 4 gangers. I'm gonna
well, you did just have
pick away a few of the others, and unfortunately, it just didn't quite work. So I think it might be my first loss with this particular gang. Maybe not first, maybe second.
Go charging scavies.
Yeah.
Tactics are run across the board as fast as you can. Put meat shields first. Meat shields first.
Seems to do the job.
Yeah.
So how did the post-battle go for you guys?
Oh yeah.
Mine didn't go great. On my injuries wise, I picked up 2 new old battle wounds. We each got a bloke captured, but we swapped them, and I swapped some carapace armour that my inventor made. Picked up a right arm wound on one of the heavies, but that's pretty much irrelevant. Got a bitter enmity versus all scavies, so that particular gang now has hatred versus scavies, which is actually quite useful. It's one of the better injury rolls to get.
Yeah, it's fairly decent.
Upgrade wise, mine were universally pretty bad. I picked up 3 leadership upgrades, which are just such a pain. Like they're not bad to have; they're unnecessary. As soon as I've got my leadership 9, which is great. So that's the highest you can get. I shouldn't fail very many bottle tests. Then having 1 at leadership 8 is good, because it means if the leader goes down, I've still got good leadership to fall back on.
Yeah.
But having 3 of them go up at the same post-battle sequence is just a bit... I could have done without doing something else. I did get a ballistic skill increase on one of my heavies, so I'll be swapping the heavy stubber onto that one. Leader gained a wound, which is quite cool. And then one of my gunfighters with 2 las pistols got rapid fire, so I gave him rapid fire on las pistols. So now he'll try and find a choke point to sit at, and if someone runs out in front of him, he gets 4 las pistol shots at them, which is quite handy. You know, it should knock people down if nothing else. But by and large, pretty disappointing for the most part. Nothing really great coming out of it. No techno skills, which are what I want. I want special. I want some specialist stuff in there.
Some more flamers running around.
I really want a las cannon or a heavy or a missile launcher.
Las cannon.
Do you have the cash for it?
No, but that's future Tom can worry about that.
Future Tom. He's a sucker, that guy.
He is, yeah. No, so that's me done. So pretty, not the best game for me, which makes a change. Usually my game goes really well for me, but today I think I was just a bit off the money. I missed a few really daft things as well. Like I thought my heavy had nothing to shoot at, so I was like, oh, whatever. I'll shoot through the heavy cover at people. When there was a ghoul standing literally 6 inches away from it in the open, who I just completely missed. And then another time I ran my flamer around a corner to get him away and thought, oh, he'll be fine there. And no, there was someone standing next to him pretty much. I think I just wasn't paying enough attention to see it.
One of them things about it, isn't it? That's happened to me in a few other games where you're just like, oh, there was a dude there?
He's even got a las pistol for just that situation where he runs around the corner and shoots someone in the face, but it's only any use if I keep my eyes open and use it.
Yeah. My post-battle sequence, I got like quite a lot of upgrades because of the gang ratings were massively different.
Yeah.
Like 430 odd points difference. So what did I get? I got a couple of weapon skill upgrades and one ballistic skill upgrade, which are always handy in general, especially seeing as my gang's largely a punch you in the face gang. So obviously I'll probably move a few weapons around, maybe to just make combat guys or shooty guys or all-rounders. I got dodge on one guy, which is reasonable, 6+ save in basically every situation. So, and I got leap on another guy, so he'll probably become a combat-y kind of guy, I guess, or just at least a front-running meat shield, either one. I only had 2 guys out of action at the end. So one got the 66, which is like extra experience awesomeness. So that was best result you can actually get, I think, pretty much. So I can't really complain about that. And the other one got captured, but we swapped them back, so that's fine. I got some carapace armour, which I'll probably put on my scaly to make him into a super meat shield because of
2-up armour save.
2-up armour save.
That's part of the reason I want a missile launcher.
Toughness 4, 3 wounds because if you got a wound upgrade before. He's pretty beefy. He is. And so far, touch wood, every game he's hit someone with his spear gun to devastating effect. So
I completely missed that the spear gun could hit multiple people.
Yeah, just like skewer them.
Lined up 4 in a row. Unfortunately, you only hit the first one.
Yeah. But anyway, went pretty well for me that game. And I rare trades on the outlaw trader chart. The number of times I've done them now, they're pretty much always pants. But I did manage to get one after a little bit of reading that turns out might be quite good. I got Spur Fixer, which is drugs. And I bought some drugs, because, we're scavvies. We don't give a crap about society or anything. Or our bodies.
Sam's attitude towards drugs does not represent the attitude of the Attic Gaming Club. We do not endorse the use or buying of drugs, fictional or otherwise.
Whatever. Let me just get this joint. What? So I bought some Spur, which has got some pretty crazy stat increases for like potentially a whole game. Especially if you roll a 6, you basically just turn one of your guys into a god. Because if he gets like plus D6 on like 2 or 3 stats, plus D3 on a couple of stats. And the only drawback is that you have to roll each recovery phase to see whether the effects wear off. So you might not actually get it for the whole game. But I think you have to roll like less than a 12. I think you take their toughness off of 12 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I have to look at that again a little bit more specifically, but it probably works out that like you have to roll higher than average or something like this for it to wear off.
Yeah.
So, or like maybe more than a 9 or something. I don't know. So I'm assuming that someone who's got better toughness would last less. 4 or something. I don't know how they would do it.
I think it's if they've got a higher toughness, it counts that they've got like a higher constitution, and thus are able to resist the effects of the drugs.
So basically, I want to take like one of my
toughness 2 guys,
pussy guys, and just turn them into a god for the game.
Ironically, somebody with a chest wound or something would be quite good.
Yeah, exactly. Just turn him into a super meat shield. So like this guy just like zooms forward. He's got like plus D6 movement, so he just runs 20 inches forward into your gang on like turn 1 and just goes. Rah!
It would be pretty better. Weapon skill plus D6 as well.
It is. So it's movement
10, weapon skill 9.
Like a 20-inch movement.
Basically, at Gene Stealers.
He turns into the Tasmanian devil, basically.
Yeah. That would be like the coolest thing ever. I'm totally going to do that.
Yeah. So the thing that sort of came out of that game, which I think will be worth us discussing briefly, was one that wasn't say it was a rules query. How was something Sam you didn't like, and I absolutely see why. Which is that in Necromunda, it works on a 90-degree arc of sight going in front of you, and you can only charge what's in that, or you can pivot on the spot to shoot. Now, what happened was I charged my leader into a ghoul that was standing next to Sam Scaly, where he could see me, beat the crap out of the ghoul, and then followed up 2 inches past it and into another person. My thinking was I'll go into the ghoul, kill it, and then go past the Scaly where it can't see me. But that then leads to a bit of an odd situation. If you think about it, the Scaly has just seen the ganger run directly past him and stop directly behind him, and yet can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it was pretty lame.
Yeah, and it was exactly the same thing I was going to try and do on the other side until I didn't roll well. But that might be worth something that we worth house rule along the lines of more time, where in more time you can charge someone that you can't see if they're within your initiative range.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. It is the whole he's behind me, I'm not going to turn around and just twat him with my sword thing. It's very counterintuitive.
It's also things like you get 2 people at a base of a ladder, one of them runs up to the other, shoots them, misses them. First one then runs up the ladder, which is 3 inches, which is a standard initiative range, and then nothing can happen.
Yeah.
Because you can't see them. So you get this thing of people sort of leapfrogging each other.
Yeah.
Trying to go up levels.
People like trying to get out of the way just so you can shoot someone in the face, because it's a free hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you go up the ladder, stand there, then you get shot in the face for a turn, and that guy could even move to some other obscure position just to shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
And obviously GW agreed, because they changed it for more time.
Yeah.
And a lot of more time is very similar to Necromunda, but these are things that obviously they had taken on board that people didn't like and decided to make a change.
Yeah.
So, I think, we were discussing it earlier, but I think we're going to play a few more games, a couple more weeks at least, or maybe a month or so of Necromunda, and then we're going to restart with a campaign with new gangs, a serious gang and maybe a crazy gang each. Have a proper league-y kind of
I think it would
campaign.
be good to give it a narrative, or perhaps like a structured scenario thing, because I think it would just make it more interesting. These constant pick-up games, so to speak.
Without a doubt.
I'm going to go so far before we need to spice it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get that whiteboard put up in the corner, and then we can track all of our gangs and do it as a proper campaign.
Yeah, I need to give these a name. My scabby gang. I think I'll just call them scabby bitches or something like this. I think that works pretty well.
Sam's bitches.
Yep, that'll do.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I keep them all enthralled to me with drugs and this weird power staff that counts as a power sword.
But how was it, guys? Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was good fun. A bit frustrating when stuff like that happens, so there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go really downhill for me as soon as you started picking guys off. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
And then I had a bit of luck getting back up again.
That's why you roll the dice.
Yeah, exactly. Statistical averages and all that. That's exactly why that random element is in there.
Oh yes.
But nice. Okay, well I think that pretty much wraps us up for this week, unless anyone else has got anything else they want to touch on.
Nope. No, nothing for me.
To get me a train. So.
Excellent. Well, remember, guys, we're now on iTunes. So if you search for Attic Gaming Club on iTunes, you can find us and download the podcast there. We've also got the website set up, which you may have seen already, which is atticgamingclub.libsyn, libsyn.com. That's atticgamingclub.libsyn.com. There you can read random bollocks that one of us posts up about books we're reading or models we're painting, as well as, when we post up the descriptions for the podcast, there's got all the links and anything that we talk about we're going to put up on there, so, you could go back and look at the Kickstarters we've been chatting about or whatever. Plus I'll post up pictures of the board games that I was playing this week, just in case anybody wants to have a look at them or check them out on Board Game Geek, etc. But you can also still catch us in the usual places for now. We're going to continue to upload videos to YouTube, at least for a few more weeks, until people migrate over to iTunes and the website. So you can get us on YouTube, leave comments underneath our videos, the Attic Gaming Club. Or you can get us on Twitter, at Attic Gaming Club on Facebook, Attic Gaming Club, or you can send us an email at atticgamingclub@gmail.com. Please do get in touch if you want to leave us a comment. It's always nice to hear if people are enjoying what we're doing or not, or if we should just quit it.
Should be like some comment and just be like, just shoot yourselves!
That'd be Dave. Or maybe just shoot Dave.
Yeah,
Might be the
that,
comment. Yeah.
We hate you! Get off the airwaves!
But yeah, cool. Well, thanks for joining us again, and hopefully we will catch you again in a week's time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Ciao.
Do 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 diddly do.
Bong.
Cut.